spell the name Uderson, as that's the name of the sheriff in that story.
He's not a sheriff, he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
What are these Tide potions?
Supposedly, it basically takes everything you repressed and unleashes it, but magnifies it into a physical form.
It basically turns you into Mr. Hyde.
Okay.
Well, essentially, what you repress. I'm curious at how far that goes and what that exactly means.
Yeah, errors would be an absolute nightmare.
Well, it says
yeah.
repress.
Here's the thing.
Repressing essentially good intentions, wouldn't it just turn you into a better person?
Okay, first off, second of all, actually, believe you me, I could have one thing. I could have gone on a full murder hobo and just basically started stabbing everyone I didn't like.
Yeah, like, to be fair, I'm pretty sure if Ayara played without any possible, like, I feel it's not that Ayara represses her good side. I feel it's that Ayara is getting consistently worse at repressing her bad side.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I'm pretty sure her Mr. Hyde would be pretty fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just kind of curious if it'd work that way at all against suitably, horrible.
It probably basically kind of be like a more platonic version of King Kong towards Lil.
So here's my concept of the potion. It is basically like it's a mixture of Mr. Hyde. It's a mixture of a Persona style shadow, which is really a Jungian style shadow because that's where Persona's idea of the shadow comes from. It's from Carl Jung's theory of the repressed self, which is something that's also very similar to what Mr. Hyde is in Robert Louis Stevenson's story. And yes, that does mean that if you're a person who represses a lot of your caring, empathetic nature, that's what your Mr. Hyde would be. In fact, if you repress a lot of your, quote unquote good instincts, your Mr. Hyde transformation may not be something that's, viciously ugly and monstrous, but maybe more of an angelic sort of monstrous, a jaw-droppingly beautiful sort of power.
Interesting. I had wondered about that.
Yeah, arrows would definitely.
Like, what is Tig repressing?
Gobliness.
Not exactly gobliness, but every bit of frustration, rage, torment, pain, everything is. As you remember, he's 23 years old. Imagine that. Let's say about a good 16 years of almost that constantly.
I have no idea what that would do to Howard.
I think you just turn him into a slightly more bigger douchebag. Not a douchebag now, but I'm repressing my my instincts as a nobleman to be a douche. I will be the ultimate douche.
Some shadows lash out at others. Some shadows lash out at themselves. Like Howard might collapse into a bag of neuroses. He might be the sort of Mr. Hyde that's not so much menacing as it is pathetic in its repulsiveness.
Yeah, I think the arrows would be weird. It would be kind of a mixture of wanting to tear apart virtually anything that gets near anything it considers a friend, especially Lil. At the same time, it probably wouldn't really give a shit about itself getting hurt. But
How are you repressing that?
Era's got Era's fully aware that she isn't a good person. Never said that she's happy with that.
Excuse me. So did Dr. Jekyll just pop up and hey, you want to buy these? Some drugs.
So you'll notice on the map there's a store called Jekyll's Potions.
It's spelled Geekle, though.
It's spelled Geekle, and that's because if I spelled it like Jekyll, you'd know the gag. So I decided to phonetically spell Jekyll, which also happens to look like Geekle, so you'd probably mispronounce the name when you go in and then have the guy be like, actually, it's pronounced Jekyll. It's pronounced Jekyll, which is the accurate pronunciation of Jekyll, but over time, Dr. Jekyll has become more preferred.
Also, a question. Has Adventure come back?
Hey, it looks like I'm gonna get back to my house, so I'll disconnect and pop back on.
Okay.
What?
Okie dokes.
One thing. Has Adventure just come back from Expedition?
No, it's like we didn't get to describe it very much in session, but because you haven't visited it yet. But it's more like it's been like in harbor for a very, very long time.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put it in my notes. Check out the Venture.
Yeah, I would check out everything that's labeled on that map except for farmland and the old windmill and Beatrice Forest. The farmland because nothing will happen there, and the Beatrice Forest and old windmill because when it's time to check those out, you'll know.
Okay.
This town is a bit more of a mystery than the other ones have been. The problem of this town is basically, what's with all the werewolves? And as like this is a somewhat unconventional werewolf infestation they're facing, and it's the kind of thing where someone kind of has to be the cause of it, and our job is to figure out who, which involves figuring out a motive and the series of events that have led from this to go from just a monster attacking people in the fields to a town almost like losing all of its population because of a werewolf problem.
I'm willing to bet and that's something. Yeah, I think I figure. This is probably completely off, but Zaroff is probably behind the werewolf thing and kind of taking a page out of Skyrim. Like instead of being a man as a ultimate predator, he turns him into werewolves that they're a better hunt.
Well, that's something that we're gonna have to figure out.
Yeah.
Also consider that this may be part of Jekyll's experiments to quote-unquote improve humanity.
And we also have some clues about Rainsford and Grunch's involvement as well. Not to mention, there's something off with the fortune teller.
She's your Naga, motherfucker.
Okay, yeah, you can read the book and figure out my little clues beforehand, you little asshole.
I don't get it.
Your piss wizards are easy to spot.
I mean, yes, she is my Naga character. Hopefully you caught the fact that every now and then she
hisses.
She kept her S's a bit too long.
I noticed that the moment you described her. That's why I said you magnificent bastard.
Yeah, I should have figured you would have been able to recognize my one of my few characters that wears glasses on sight.
That's the glasses are Sir K's piss wizard.
Yeah, I'm gonna say K and glasses.
They're not his piss wizard. They're his fucking fetish. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I'm not dancing around that fact.
A piss wizard is what you use to describe something that's not explicitly a fetish.
The border is very thin.
Yeah, and sometimes things are overlap. Like kick-ass warrior women are kind of both for me.
Same.
I like them from a story perspective and from a more base perspective.
Yeah, and now I'm remembering that discussion we had like a long time ago, and now I'm starting to wonder if those might actually make an appearance.
If what might? You cut off.
Bizarro versions of our characters.
Probably not. Although I guess if we're using Bizarro as opposite as opposed to DC Comics' shitty version, which I still think is a vital thing. Sometimes you need a word for the shitty alter ego. like Ash Ketchum is the bizarre version of Red. But bizarro versions of your characters, I kind of feel we got too close to that with our one-shot gang.
Believe you mean Nira is nothing like the bizarro version of Ayara.
Yeah, I know.
Bizarro
But for inverse versions of our characters, like completely inverted versions, we might. I guess if you took those Jekyll potions, you would become like what you most repress, and often that is what is the opposite of yourself, although sometimes it's not.
I already posted what I'm pretty sure Ari was gonna do if she took those potions.
Basically, her repressed anger and I guess
Animalistic.
she represses her catfolk side a little bit.
We will face the Jaguar.
Oh, one of the things that Ari should do is make Buddy's weapon silver.
Would that hurt Buddy?
No, I don't think so.
I'm asking the DM.
Silver counts as positive energy, so yeah, it probably would. But that would involve someone getting the machete away from Buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I think even if he can't kill one, if he stomps his skull in enough, it's going to eventually pass out. Just test how far that can't be harmed by non-silver can go.
It'll wish it could be harmed by something other than silver.
This is true. It's not the same as you don't feel pain.
Yeah, Lilia had 15 silver bullets that she was stocking up. She sold 5, so now she only has 10.
I was going to ask, why the hell did you sell them?
Yeah, actually, Buddy would be kind of fucking terrible for these guys. Because, all of his damage would be rendered as non-lethal damage, so he could beat them to unconsciousness.
Yeah.
And then, because of their powers, they'd come back from unconsciousness pretty quickly, just for him to keep beating them.
Yeah, like I said, they'd wish
Eventually,
they could die.
they could wear him down by attrition, but
he regenerates.
But that's just amusing as hell.
That's why we have the rest of the party there to pick them off.
Ooh.
They will eventually just wish for death.
yeah.
Or AR's Piss Wizard, am I right?
That is. I never ever said that. I never denied that. I'm not denying that.
Going into a Dragon Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
actually think her hide would actually be her going full elemental. Fiery elemental, because that's the side she represses while she embraces her dragon.
I can kind of see that too.
It would definitely be on fire, yeah.
Yep.
It's never it's not.
I'm gonna say this: I didn't plan to reveal the xenomorph early, but I also felt we needed some fun drama, some fun non-talky shit. So I decided to put him in the basement. And then the idea that he was just down there to drink wine and eat cheese was so antithetical to a xenomorph in my perspective that I had to do it.
It makes sense to me, but I'm weird.
That essentially he's like a teen who ran from their parents' house. And he just wants to get drunk because teens think that makes them cool.
Does it do anything for xenomorphs?
I don't know. He didn't seem very drunk.
So yeah, basically it's King Kong, OG King Kong, plus the T-Rex combined and on fire. Holy shit, that actually sounds awesome.
And let's see, what else? Yeah, if you know your most dangerous game, the name Rainsford should ring a bell because, of course, Rainsford is the titular most dangerous game.
Indeed.
Hmm.
He's the person Xeroth tries to hunt.
Also, so I'm calling it now. We're going to be taking the venture to the Earth Hollow, aren't we?
That would make sense.
Also, because motherfucker, that is an Earth Hollow if I ever saw one.
The question is, which one of us is the blonde?
Probably again. Well, none of us really are. Like,
Lelia has silver hair, so that might.
It's as close as we're getting.
Also, Era is kind of the right personality.
You see a statue of what's probably Godzilla, and you assume we're going to be fighting King Kong?
It's
No,
you.
like,
We're gonna team up with Godzilla to fight King Kong.
That or we will become Godzilla. I can finally use my plan B for if we ever get attacked by kobolds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. You guys are so underpowered. I want to make you fucking Godzilla to balance things out.
I don't want to be Godzilla. I want to be Lelia.
I want to be my character, yeah.
Well, too bad. You're being Godzilla now because you're not strong enough.
Honestly, like, it probably would be quite a long time till we get to the Earth Hollow. I wonder
maybe it will be. Maybe I put a ship called the Venture on the town that comes right before fucking island for a reason. I don't know.
Wait. There's an island. There's also an island?
Yeah, there's an island.
Okay, we're fucking going to that
If you look at the island of Conquered Worm, in Looking Glass Lake, there is a large island in the center.
Okay, so
Indeed.
that's either probably this might actually be Fae. Now that I think about it, it does seem like something that a fair folk would like.
They do love dinosaurs, those fair folk.
No, like an island, like in the middle of like a giant and clear lake. That does seem something I kind of that I would love.
Yeah, I could see some fairies being involved in that. Let's see, what else? I really loved the character stuff. Even if we had to sort of pull teeth at one point to get it working.
Yeah, it was hard to try to figure out how this progressed naturally.
I just like that it happened because I've never had any PCs attempt that before.
Really?
Yeah. Normally everyone just sort of likes to stay in the moment. Which is fine, but it makes characters purely reactionary. Which can work, but it's nice to have like some of our own personal shit going on. I like there to be a balance. You don't want everyone to be completely uninvolved in the story because then, we don't really have a story. We just have people monologuing. But if everyone is only involved in the story, it can be hard to understand who these people are when they're not adventuring, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I liked the god interactions, which there were significantly more of them than I was expecting today, but it was fun having them all carried out.
I did not mean to start that one. It was just generic, why, God, why? I didn't expect an answer.
I didn't have any plans for Gorsagrat being involved in this campaign, and I'm almost kind of regretting it because, like, the personality I built for Gorsagrat makes for a fun character. And it would almost be fun to see him interacting with this.
Well, the campaign ain't over yet.
The big thing is, though, Gorsagrat would definitely be against you, and he's definitely pissed off at Tig.
Well, that just means more and more gods are going to have their stake in that then.
And it means we're probably going to try and find out some way to kill a god. If mortals can become gods, they can be. I'm willing to bet that power, power has to come from somewhere. I'm willing to bet it can probably be taken away. And Era's just the kind of person who's nutty enough to try.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, buddy.
I think about it, like, Era and Dr. Jekyll will probably get along quite well.
Is there an updated mold map? yet?
Oh yeah, I should do that.
No,
I
stand
mean,
on my
the only
head.
thing I'll do it after we're done with Uderson, because the only thing that I'm going to add to it is that Makken is discovered.
And
Don't you mean
gone.
destroyed?
Well, so here's the thing: when I originally made the original Conquered Worm map, can't be edited like the original way I was able to do it, where like I could replace things, because that used the old version of Incarnate Map Maker, which they no longer host. So I can't edit it on the website anymore.
Hmm.
So my original plan for Makken was not to have it raised to the ground at the end, as you recall. Uh, so we have the slight problem that on the fully discovered version of Conquered Worm, Makken is portrayed as a town, as opposed to a ruin. There is a
Also-
ruin there's a ruin symbol I could put on there, but I don't have the technology to do that anymore. So
One question
we're just
regarding
gonna we're just gonna say that this showed what Makken was when you discovered it, rather than how you left it.
Okay.
I do actually have one big question regarding Maka.
Mhm.
Because there's a thing. I could see a little basically going and basically kind of like thinking that she's doing good things, the Red Talon, but she's really doing bad things.
Mhm.
But there is one thing she would absolutely never do, and that's hurt kids.
Mhm.
Like she's like fundamental at her core. Lil is a good is based. She's still kind of based on the same like on her character. Except
I will
older,
tell
more
you right
more
now, fundamental to her core, Lilt is a lawful good person. Like as I am role playing her, as she is written, as she is statted, she is a lawful good person. And you are correct; she would not hurt kids. So, what's your question about Lilt and Makken?
like did Lil hurt the kids and we left there in any way, shape, or form?
Oh God, of course not.
Or
Lilt
the
got them to a safe harbor.
or the witches.
Um,
God,
that's a good question.
considering that they both know how to cast Zone of Truth, that would be it'd be in Zone of Truth. It might.
I would say Lilt would definitely have questions for them. How that interaction went down, who can say?
That's if the witches didn't attack purely because it's Red Talon.
I mean, she is kind of dressed like a vampire knight with the red and black. Like, regardless of what the Red Talon may or may not be, they certainly don't dress like heroes.
Aw.
At the very best, they dress like opera singers.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna turn it in for the night. See you guys later.
All right, see you,
No,
Letty.
Good night.
So, semi-eventful, non-eventful session that was.
What the hell was it?
I think we got a lot of good stuff done. I wish we had had more time for the Uderson stuff so we could at least finish investigating. But I'm glad that we at least got started on it. And I'm not angry that we did all that stuff beforehand, because I thought it was good, fun stuff. If that makes sense.
Yep.
I'm gonna say I'm sorry for that took so much time. It's just you hit a lot of nerves.
We got some good story shit out of it, and that's important. We got some good character development, and that's important. Like here's why I'm not like angry or anything that we didn't get to like more plot centric stuff, because like it's important that you guys get invested and are reacting to this world, and this session definitely had a lot of you guys being invested, even if it meant the plot didn't move as far as I would have liked. As far as I'm concerned, moving the plot along is a lot easier than getting players invested. So if I have to sacrifice some plot speed for the sake of getting people invested in the story, I am fine with that trade-off.
And you still don't have a Nanako yet.
Yep. At the moment, your guys' investment in the plot is mostly out of rage.
We have a lot of that
Some
between
mild
us.
form of obligation, I think. So we don't have to help anybody now.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been volunteering to save people, which is pretty cool. I mean, dragon people, but still.
Well, we've saved some humans.
Lelia may have destabilized the whole country, but to be fair, that country was an asshole.
The Rubicante bit was really fun.
I imagine Lelia just like those stereotypical anime wide eyes, like unable to comprehend this.
Was that as unexpected as I hoped it was?
Somewhat. I was expecting more. I loved you. What do you? I expected more. He's actually kind of decent. More. He was decent, but not as decent as I was expecting you to make him.
Well, he's a demon.
Yeah.
Like, I had to keep him that. Like, there's an article that the guy who writes Order of the Stick made about how evil characters can have loved ones, and they can have loved ones that they genuinely love without losing their evilness. And that's definitely what I'm trying to go with Rubicante. He genuinely loves Lelia. He is also genuinely a horrible person.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me because we're in the whole Elam thing.
Yeah, it's very very Tarkin and Elan.
Yeah.
Like, he's a genuinely bad person, and he genuinely loves his rebellious, free-spirited, shit-starting daughter.
Shit starting.
He wishes she loved him more. He wishes they had a better relationship. But he's so proud of his sweet girl. Which I hope makes that conflict a little bit harder to figure out.
Yeah, sounds good for me.
I still think it's funny that we kicked your dad in the face.
Lelia! The fuck?
That was the funniest fucking thing ever.
Oh, I was trying to figure out what the hell that reminded me of. So the one soldier in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, when Trunks shows up, is the one guy that survives Trunks' onslaught.
Frieza! The fuck?
Exactly. It's the same cadence and everything.
Dragon Ball Z has so many good. Dragon Ball Z Abridged has so many good line reads.
Yeah. Lord Frieza. What the fuck?
The fuck? You can't form a full question because they're dying.
And Rubicante works for Shadison, as she's his boss, I reckon.
As a demon, devil, or daemon in this setting, yes, Shaitasin is his primary employer. They might be loaned out to other gods of an evil alignment, but all the demons, devils, and daemons are ultimately Shaitasin's children.
Ah.
There's actually this campaign actually goes a bit into the story of what a demon is, as you'll find out eventually, probably, hopefully. Like, that is one of the story hooks, is that, like, what is the state of demon kind? Because we got to investigate devils, and because they're a classic horror trope, especially when you're doing like a medieval horror story. And we also had to investigate devils because I wrote a fucking devil novel, and I'll be fucked if I don't use that still. So, like, understanding the state of demon kind is as important to this setting, to the Great Conflict, as like fixing the state of undead, or figuring out how to make amends to dragons, and saving all the towns. Like, it's one of the key plot threads, even without Sir K's tiefling character.
2 tiefling characters, actually. It's an NPC now.
Well, you know,
Oh.
when Kay is involved in the plot, he's my character. He's not yours.
Yeah.
You got character jacked.
Mine.
It fits his meta character.
To use as I see fit.
He'll rebel against you. I'll just say that right now, as he does.
Well, I've
Fucker.
got rebels just as vicious. You know, I am Anartin. I'm used to the rebellious kind.
Oh God.
Do you want me to spoil what today's random encounter would have been?
Yeah, go
Sure.
for it.
The wolves.
We're going to encounter it eventually. I custom brewed, really customized the stats of a Tyrannosaurus Rex to make super ducks.
The funny thing is, Ren on Thursday night asked us if we found dire ducks yet.
They're not dire ducks. A dire duck would be a slightly worse than normal duck. These are super ducks. They use a Tyrannosaurus Rex's stats, along with some additions.
Jesus.
So they have swallow hole and everything. Jesus.
Yep. They are challenge rating 9 monsters, and you would have fought 4 of them.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Now I'm saving them till another time. But just so you know, you would have fought super ducks, and yes, they have corkscrew penises.
Jesus. Did you stat the penises?
I have statted an attack for the penises, yes.
Oh my fucking God.
Really flavored the tongue attack, right?
Ugh. God.
It's like a spear attack.
Oh.
And when it's successful, it also grabs you.
Oh.
Because the corkscrew has screwed its way through you.
Oh God.
Oh.
Why would you do this?
Terrible person.
Well, I figure I'm down to the last encounter on the Book of Perilous Journeys, and I want to make it memorable.
Oh my God.
That's memorable in every fucking way, including Scar.
Also, when you face the encounter, once you're done, there will be an in-story reason why that choice of monster is important.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to say it leads to a huge plot point, but it leads to a huge plot point.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
It's better than just the clouds forming to a shape of a troll face. Hashtag Anarton.
I really liked today because I didn't have to do a lot of work. So that's my final word. I'm going to sign off and watch Samurai Jack. I don't know if I'll be able to do next week. We'll see. I might need to take a week off.
No, that's okay. Is there a new Semi-Jack?
Yeah, Saturday night.
Yep.
Yeah,
Boy.
Like once it's finished recording in 7 minutes, I'm going to put it on. All right. See you guys later.
Night.
Bye. Oh, God. Today was a thing.
Yeah, it was.